so interesting that this is, I think, our final junior school bulletin for AS at Home. Wow.
I know, it is wow.
Yeah. And today I have Mrs. Epstein with me. Thank you so much for being
Thank you, Miss Gray.
my guest today.
Thank you.
I've been asking people if there's anything that they have learned that's a little unexpected, or something that they've noticed that is a positive while we have been learning and working from home.
Personally, I've really enjoyed the pause button, and where you've been able to reset and reevaluate what's really important in life. I think sometimes we rush around too much and try and, less is more. And if anything, I hope I can keep that in mind. And also, to prioritize family, friends, because we haven't been able to really see them. Thank goodness we've been able to connect through IT. But face-to-face contact with people, that to me has been something that I've really learned that's been important these last couple of weeks.
I've certainly enjoyed that too. It has been during this time that I've had lots of wonderful conversations, just even on the phone with friends and family, and really relaxed on the couch. Like I haven't been. Often you have a phone call and you can think about what you need to do next, but actually really relaxing and having those long conversations. As a learning community, we gain so much from collaborating, feeding off others' ideas, and as teachers, we understand so much about our students by watching them, observing them, and the way they engage in tasks, the questions that they ask. Even just noticing the body language, and that's been quite fun over the last couple of days. And you have been fortunate to have many of your students visiting this week. Tell us about that.
Well, I always say life is good, but life is great now because the children are back. And, it's just, we, as I've often said to the parents, we get so much energy and so many of our ideas from the interaction with the children, and how important it is for us to be connected with the children. And yes, thank goodness we've had technology, but with the face-to-face and the excitement today was just magical. The whole week's been magical really for us because we've had that buzz. The children are back. Yay.
It was funny when I was here yesterday morning and one of the kindy boys ran into the classroom and there was another one over here, and their eyes lit up as soon as they saw one another, and they couldn't help but give each other. They were so excited to see each other. It was wonderful. Well, we know that right through the college, our parents are so important to us, and they are our partners as we work with our children. However, with the youngest children, it's even more crucial. So how have our parents as partners contributed to the success of them learning at home?
I think it's been the parents' positive attitude towards their children's learning, and even in difficult situations, trying to balance between their own work, and the stresses of keeping that going, their positive attitude to working with the children. And yes, I know it has been extremely challenging for some, and that for many, and we do appreciate every little bit, however small amount they've done with the children. As teachers, we have been so grateful for that, and we do appreciate that. But it's that the energy, that positive energy that they have had. Yes. Let's get going, let's keep going, and they have. So thank you.
And attitude is everything. And
Yes.
sometimes you have to almost be a good actor, don't you?
Yes.
You might be tired. You might be the last thing you want to do, but you
Gotta
put
keep
on,
going.
put on that positive
Yes.
face. It has felt like a significant amount of time that we have been learning at home, and in fact, it's been only 17 days. What are some of the tips that you can share with parents about how to ease the transition back to school?
I think it's reminding the children about their friendships, about their friends who are here at school, because particularly down, as we say, in Kinderland, it's their social, emotional, and their little friendships that they've developed. And that's what we've been trying to focus on, particularly these last 3 days, is just getting those children to reconnect with each other. And for instance, this morning, I had 2 little boys who were just running up and down the hill, and they were just laughing and just enjoying being in each other's company. And I think that's what's important at the moment. And of course that their teachers can't wait to see them all.
Absolutely, so true. When we're put in a different situation, we learn different skills and different ways of being. And we say that every challenge brings with it an opportunity. What are some of the skills or capabilities that you think you've learned, as a staff member during this time at All Saints at Home?
Well, I've learned that being in Kinderland, I left my IT skills. They were on the shelf a little bit. So there's been a huge learning curve in the last few months, where I've had to really brush up on some of my IT skills. But I think it's also the ways we communicate with each other. And thank goodness for IT, that we still can communicate with each other. So, so that's where I think it's been more, as you said, an opportunity to learn those, whether it's through Zoom meetings or team or, that's been absolutely phenomenal. It's been great. It isn't as if we can contact people a lot quicker now, so it's great.
I really feel that as a whole college staff, our IT skills have really been honed as a result. And it has been wonderful, and it has enabled us to be able to connect. With our community. And that's why gratitude for our parents being on board with that, and our children and their enthusiasm. It's been really us all in it together.
Yes.
So much life learning happens in kindergarten and pre-kindergarten. What are some of the things, or some of the capabilities or concepts that you'll be focusing on when they return?
Well, it's really that social emotional. And it's I've just seen already some children who you can see they just need to connect again with their friends. So over the next week we will definitely be focusing more on that, the social emotional aspect of it, and also learning, getting back into the class routine. Some routines have changed, have needed to change.
Yes, of course.
So it's just getting that routine back and getting some normality back for the children. But most important of all, it's that social, emotional side for the children, making them feel safe and secure again.
Because for them it probably seems like quite a long time as well.
It is, yes.
There's nothing more important than well-being and the well-being of others. And we know that, we absolutely know in the early years our children are so expressive, that if a child has a strong sense of well-being, then they're able to learn most effectively. So what are some of the strategies that our students, our parents, ourselves, we can prioritise around well-being?
Well, I mean, in Kindyland we always say we scatter kindness.
Oh.
And are we scattering kindness? So always think about, what, those usual things. Remember your please and thank yous. And so and we're all in this, together. We have a song, in our classroom, we're all friends. And we scatter kindness. So it's always trying to just remind that they know, but we all need a few reminders that we just scatter kindness around here. So
it's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now we have come to that special time in the bulletin that we've done every single time, and that is that our guest is going to present a very choice of quote. Okay, and Mrs. Epstein, I've got to ask you to hold off for a moment.
Okay.
Because I've got Pete the Penguin.
That's right.
Who is a character in Kindy.
Yes.
Who often is just brought out to get the children's attention.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So this is Pete Penguin, and you've got to have a look at Pete Penguin, and Pete Penguin's going to say, "Over to you, Mrs. Epstein."
Thank you. Well, this was quite difficult. But I actually liked that learning is an active process. When we learn by doing, only knowledge that is used sticks in your mind. And that in Kindy, well, in life in general, I think says it all. But thank you. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Mrs. Epstein.
See you all next week. It's been wonderful. See you. Bye.
Bye.